A tough day on Wall Street. The S&P 500 pulling back from a record as Walmart's guidance raised concerns for investors. And earnings haven't been the only driver of some recent volatility. Another one is tariffs. Our next guest says that volatility is creating opportunities for investors. Joining us now is Jeff McLean, Solidarity Capital CEO. And Jeff, tariffs has been the talk on Wall Street. You call it a distraction, but again, leading to some opportunities. So where are those pockets of volatility in your view?
Yeah, great question. I think with tariffs, it's admittedly the number one question we're getting from investors and clients of what that means. What it does, though, is create some great opportunities. Look at Walmart today. Walmart plummets based on some weakness in their forward projections, although the CFO came out later today to say, whoa, you're taking this way too far. We do this every year. Relax. But a lot of the worry is around tariffs related to Walmart. Related to the weakening consumer, related to inflation, related to tariffs. And when you have an opportunity like a Walmart that's done incredibly well to start this year, as your colleague just talked about, they had a great start to the year. They dropped today. I would say the drop today is a little overreaction. That's a perfect example of a great opportunity to seize based on volatility. From a great long-term company that continues to make a ton of money, will continue to do really well, will have some impact with tariffs, but not a lot. They talked about that a little bit on their call, that they won't be hugely impacted, but of course, as an impact on everyone if it's a big number at the end of the day with a tariff. But overall, that's a perfect example of where tariffs, you can take advantage of the volatility, which I think is, again, short term. There's a big difference between the negotiating position that the president's trying to take with these big numbers against Mexico, against Canada. The only one actually put in place is the one against China, and a bunch of threats on other ones. But again, it's a negotiation. And I think long term, the impact of it will be very muted.
So, Jeff, are you sort of using this playbook throughout the market where you're sort of looking for these kinds of dislocations where perhaps companies have been punished in a way that you don't think is appropriate?
100%. And so, there's just an opportunity when that happens. If you have a really good company, right? From an investment perspective, we're all about buying really good companies long term. But as some of the great investors always talk about, Howard Marks, one of them, the predominant factor in your return is what did you buy that at? And so if you're watching a few of these companies, you're keeping them on your target list, you're trying to find that good entry point from a valuation perspective, and you get a mispriced drop because of the news of the day, tariffs, or what did the president tweet this morning, or whatever network he's on, I can't remember what that's called, but whatever it is, he puts out some proclamation and boom, you have a drop in a company you love. It's a great opportunity. You look across the market today of some of the companies that have dropped a lot. You mentioned Walmart on there earlier. JP Morgan was on there as a big dropper today. Goldman Sachs. If you like those companies long term, and now you can buy them in 4 to 6 to 8% off of where they were just 24 hours ago, that's a fantastic opportunity to play the volatility.
Let's stick with that opportunity. Nike, you like it, hasn't done that well. Where do you see the value there?
Yeah, Nike's had a rough road. Admittedly, a lot of that was with the prior CEO. Big news on Nike these past 2-3 weeks, right? They finally did their first Super Bowl ads in quite some time that had a lot of big traction. You had a Nike athlete, Jalen Hurts, wearing Jordan brand shoes during the Super Bowl. You have Bill Ackman upping his stake by 15% over the past week. And you have the deal with the Kardashians, right? The Kardashian brand. That's a big opportunity. And as they talked about, they've kind of missed the road a little bit with this Lululemon play and the success Lulu's had. If they can focus more on the women's segment, continue to grow it. We are super bullish, I think, along with kind of Bill Ackman and the other activist investors into Nike, of where this could go. And with Elliott Hill at the helm, right, it's an incredible story. This is a guy, again, who started as an intern at Nike 37 years ago. How amazing is this if he can actually turn it around? They have momentum. You have not seen that play in the stock yet, openly. But if you're looking at Nike from a long-term play, think 2, 3, 4 years from now, I am bullish on where Nike can go, that they can get back to where they were and they can right the ship.